So, welcome back, guys. We should be back now for Knuckle Story, and we're joined by Nimputs, aka Nim, aka Good Speedrunner.
Hi.
Say hello, Nim?
Yeah, should I just give a countdown?
If you like, yeah.
Alright, so we're gonna be starting in 3, 2, 1, and go. Alright, hey everyone, this is Knuckle Story. You've just seen Sonic Story. The main difference here is that the levels are not linear. The cool thing about it is you have to find 3 emerald pieces that are more or less randomly generated out of a pool of different emerald piece locations that the game can pick from. You mostly use your radar to figure out the piece locations, and also there's different rules they can spawn with. The most important one is that every piece locations can either be first, second, or third piece. So if you pay attention to which pieces you've already gotten, and then you can figure out which other piece locations are still possible for you to show up. Obviously you want the piece locations as close together as possible, so this was pretty bad RNG right here. But yeah, also this is kind of interesting in terms of routing, because depending on how high of a time you go for, you route the levels differently. So right here I'm in a marathon no reset setting, so I have to take safer route through the levels that actually checks for every piece. But in like PB attempts, I do riskier routes that deliberately doesn't check for certain pieces because they're really slow, and I just hope I don't get them. And if I do get them, I just reset. So here we got a really cool third piece. So we can do a cool clip here into his shoe, and there we go. It's this, and the last first piece rather is on top of here. And that's actually really good RNG. So that was a horrible speed highway, but a really good casino. So now we got a bit of hub world coming up and a small clip. Not clip, skip. We call that cream skip. There's like a small scene where you're not supposed to be able to move while you see cream fly by. But there's actually a small frame window where you can get inputs in and punch out of it and move early. And I got it. So it saves like 1 or 2 seconds. That was not an optimal cream skip. Ideally I do one punch and then get into a glide, but it doesn't matter as long as I get it. So now we get Chaos 2, that's the first boss, that's a manip. If you do everything right, I can skip all of his attack cycles pretty much. It's a bit finicky. Yeah, that looks good. Alright, that's a good Chaos 2. So now we got Hub World again. We're gonna do something cool. We're gonna go in a cave and get a cool upgrade which allows us to dig into the ground. Yeah, and now with that upgrade we're going to get something very cool, which I bet your speed game doesn't have. And that is a monkey destruction switch, which, as the name suggests, destroys monkeys. And we're gonna take that switch to get out of this cave and to get into the next level. We just gotta go over here. And once we're over there, we just throw that switch on the monkey, and the next level is open. So this level has a very different route depending on no reset run or PB attempt. I'm actually gonna go up here. In PB attempts I don't even go up here. So yeah, there's can be these. Okay. That's not too bad. Pretty solid RNG. Yeah, next we go back on the hub world to where we were before, and there we're gonna do, I bet everybody already at some point wanted to do, and that is punching Sonic in the face. So if you run Knuckles Story, you can fulfill that dream of punching Sonic. That's pretty cool.
Station Square will be departing soon.
Oh no! Oh no!
Even get to punch him 3 times.
Oh no!
Now we got the worst boss in the run, which you've already seen in previous Sonic Story. That is Chaos 4. It takes very long and is very boring. Also that one we manipulate, ideally, I hope at least. Oh god, that was bad. Basically I glide around a lot and hopefully that causes him to only do the splash attack, which is the fastest attack. And if I do everything, that was a shockwave that saves, wastes like a bit under a second, not too bad. But yeah, if I do everything right, he always comes up and gets vulnerable at the same times on the timer. And every attack that he does differently, the vulnerability delays a bit, so I have to pay attention to that. That was kind of sketchy as well, but it doesn't matter. As long as I don't get the arm attack or blue balls. Yeah, aside from that, not much going on here. That's a very, very sloppy Chaos 2, but it's not too much of a deal. Also important to notice is that the risk for blue balls is, I think, the highest in the second and third phase. So once you past phase 2 and 3, you're pretty safe. I don't think I've ever gotten blue balls in that last stretch here. He still has 1 movement. Alright. Yeah, that was bad boss, but doesn't matter. So we now got some hub world again. To get into the next level, we have to find 2 stone statues and put them into some keyholes. The first one is right here. So we're just gonna run over the treetops, do some precise jumps, and with some precise jumps I mean 1 precise jump. And we drop that key off here. You can't move away too quickly, because if you're unlucky, the key despawns if you're too fast. And you have to go back up and get it again. And the second key is in this cave right here, which you can dig up here. This cave is really annoying because it's very tight and the camera doesn't quite cooperate and you get stuck on corners a lot and you can't see because there's spewing rings everywhere. But it doesn't matter, it's fine. And now we have the second key to get into Lost World. And in Lost World we're gonna do something really cool. We're not gonna solve this level the intended way. Instead we're gonna do something different, and I'm gonna explain that once I get it. So instead of grabbing emeralds, I just go up here, destroy this ring capsule, run into this wall, pause, go through here, and the level is done. So basically what I did there is different characters often reuse parts of the levels and then take different routes through the levels, and Sonic's and Knuckles' route cross there. And you can go from Knuckles' section, you can clip into the part that only Sonic is supposed to go. And luckily for us, the trigger for Sonic that is supposed to end the level is still there if you go there with Knuckles, so you can just use that to end the level. And that is faster no matter what piece layout you get. So that's pretty cool. So now we're on our way up to the last level. By the way, I just died there, that was on purpose. That was a death warp to skip a bit of Hub World. But yeah, now we're on our way to the last level. Just gotta go over here to trigger some cutscenes.
What's going on?
And the last level is really infamous for killing runs, because it has a lot of really, really horrible pieces. So usually if you're on a really high level, you never make runs up until here, and even if you make a run up until here, then it gets killed by Skyduck. So that's cool. So no radar.
Either push
Wait,
or
I'm not
pull the
supposed to
lever
do this with
control
no
the
radar.
ship's
I'm
tilt.
dumb. Alright, so this piece is here. By the way, you can restart after some pieces. That puts you in good spots. Where am I
Even on
going?
the deck of this ship, there's a place you can dig.
I'm hella confused right now. Oh, it's this one, okay. So he has like an electric shield that's kind of annoying, especially if you run right into him. That's a bit messy. Oh my god. Sorry, maybe I should actually grab rings. There are no rings here. So we're just gonna do this without now, and I game over it. I'm a legend. So we can do this cool level again, but this time I get better RNG, so it's worth it.
Either push or pull the lever to control the ship's tilt.
So, oh god, another shield enemy. So here again I restart to get out of the garage. Sorry about this mess. Again restart. Yeah, it's a tough level, I'm sorry guys. And this looks like a pretty horrible piece. Yeah, it is. But we can clip here. And then we fight the camera. I don't know where I am. I think I'm on the wall now. No, I'm not. Hold on. There we go. There's the piece. So that's very sketchy. Sorry about that.
Nim,
Yeah,
how did you manage to get floating stone above a moon in Sadex?
All right.
that's not even floating stone. Floating stone. There's a different piece that's actually usually referred to floating stone, and it's not that. It's like further back in the level, above the
It's still
huge
floating
X.
stone.
What happened here?
I was actually kind of hoping I would get that because there I could have showed off a cool wall
The
run,
friends
but
are in front of the ship fighting. Help
it's
them.
fine. So that was the last level. That was a bit messy, but it's fine. We're on our way to the last boss now, which is really cool. It's pretty tough, but I actually really like it. Pretty fun to do. So you have to throw these weird metal things onto Chaos and freeze him, and then you can hit him. The beginning is a bit tricky, but it looks good. Yep. And you want to make sure that you never have Chaos unfrozen for too long, because otherwise he does some attacks, and then you can't freeze him anymore. So you always want to have the next metal thing ready to throw immediately. And we're coming up on time here. That's the last hit, and time is when the time stops. Now time. Alright, that's Knuckles' story. That was a quick run. Hope you liked it.
Yeah, you're finished.
It was certainly a lot of fun to watch, Nim.
Left
Thank
now
you
is
very
to
much.
return the Master Emerald safely to
What
my
was the
island.
time?
12:33.
Wow, that's really good considering what I did in Skydeck.
Yeah, it's not too bad at all. I think Casinopolis and Red Mountain really did their part to keep that run alive.
Yeah.
I'll probably be on this float.
So yeah, thanks for having me here.
No problem. And yeah, thank you for providing that run for us, and to Argeek and Dage as well for the Sonic story race. Like that was
Yeah,
a good
that
showing of
was
Sadex, I think.
really cool. And next we have Mario Party, I think, by Lilet.